I'm going to have to go back on this policy that I set up. I guess I'm frail. Where I didn't want to make any videos about what Reforge Gaming was saying anymore. I think I kind of got to the point where it's like, well, he's complaining that he's attracting a lot of negative attention. But here's what I think, Reforge. I think the reason you're attracting frustration is because you're saying a lot of things without any data to back it up. I've been, in my own opinion, fortunate to basically shut down my detractors because I simply just show the data. That's all you got to do. I'm a scientist. So I've already learned that the very best way to pretty much explain and express your findings is by just backing it up with proof that is basically planted in reality. This way, even though people may come ahead and start saying stuff, like in the comment section, we can read their comments and go, but those comments have nothing to do with the video. They're either personal attacks or whatever it is. Now, you and I, we've gone back and forth in the Gotham Knights days, and there were some subjective aspects to the conversation, but one thing I've noticed is you're making a very critical error, making claims that are not rooted in reality, and there's no data backing them up. In this video clip of 16 minutes that was clipped of yours, in the first 3 minutes, you made at least 4 claims. No data to back it up. Now, I can understand that you may say there's a possibility here. There's a statistical probability here. But to make those claims just raw is exactly why you've attracted infamy and notoriety that you probably didn't want. Let's listen to your clip, and at every turn when I hear you say something, I will go ahead and either fact check, Steelman, or point out where I think you might need to reconsider looking at your data. Let's go.
Helps them cope, I guess, and it proves that they still don't care about gaming since some of them can't move on. Yeah, I mean, the discussion ended as soon as we heard about the big three, Forza and then Gears, and we all know that, like, the teetering tower of Halo is about to just go boom and land on PlayStation. We know it's coming. As soon as that happens, it's like, brother, what are we even talking about here? You just became Sega. It's a wrap.
Okay. The teetering tower of Halo, once it goes to PlayStation, will fall over. Why did this teetering tower not fall over when Halo went to PC? What is the tower? That it was exclusive? But it's not been exclusive for a number of years. Again, if we were to fact check what you're saying, as if to say Halo is Mario Kart. But Halo has been on other platforms for a good long minute. In fact, the first iteration that I can see here for a Halo game leaving the Xbox platform, the Xbox console, in a traditional sense, is somewhere in 2019 with the Halo Master Chief Collection. And if we look at the Steam best of 2020 or something, that game actually made it, I think, if I'm correct, it made it into some of the top games. There it is. It made it into the gold category in terms of Steam's highest and top grossed games measured by revenue. In fact, a lot of people continue to say it as if Xbox not having exclusives is something new to their console, when in reality, anybody who makes that conclusion has to leap over Minecraft, which I think is the game that kind of tuned them on to, boy, we can make a ton of money and still be able to maintain our ecosystem. But a lot of people go ahead and justify those games. They're like, well, those games are multiplied anyways. And then they renege on it and say, well, why did they keep some of these games exclusive? Like Doom the Dark Ages. They'll be like, oh, Minecraft is always not an exclusive. Call of Duty was always not an exclusive, but they should have kept, Doom exclusive. They should have kept Indiana Jones exclusive. But it's like Bethesda and those studios, they usually publish third-party games, right? And so keeping it that way was the main thing. So again, this so-called talk of Sega and the teetering tower stuff, it's absolutely asinine. I'm going to continue to play the video again, you've mentioned this. There's just nothing to back it up. If anything, it's falling apart already.
It's a wrap. Like, everybody's going to either move to PlayStation or PC. And
what proof do you have to that? If anything, I can show you proof in real time to the opposite of PlayStation gamers moving to Xbox because of Game Pass. Anecdotally, in this particular thread, again, if you're on a live show, everyone is watching you. Fire up things that back up your claim. Right? This particular thread has been monumental in looking at, say, a case study and a scenario that is going on, especially within those who are in the know, which is also a small percentage of gamers. This person said, that's literally the reason why I'm thinking to switch to the Xbox. Sony is literally scamming us. I pay over 100 euros for some indie games. This person said, definitely, based on the post. 2 weeks ago, I switched from the PS5 after 15 plus years on the PlayStation ecosystem to the Xbox Series X Digital Edition. Game Pass in combination with Quick Resume is amazing, not to mention cloud gaming on many devices. I'm loving it, no regrets. This person says, what's crazy is this happened right after I bought the PS5. Do you know what he's saying happened? That Xbox is getting games like Expedition 33 and all of the others. So he bought a PS5 and he's in regret of that PS5. Do you really think that Halo moving to PlayStation is going to make this person say, yay, I got Halo on PlayStation? I don't think so, Reforge. And again, people will say things like, oh, you're an Xbox fanboy, you're defending. No. I couldn't be bothered if I'm a freaking iguana. I just want us to say things that we can back up. This is heavily important. And I said this year and last year, everyone is going to be laser focused on what the pundits and the talking heads are saying. And I was given a hint to say, if you want to shield yourself as a talking head from getting the drag on the internet, you need to be in the know. You need to be crawling and looking at things everywhere you can find them to shield yourself with the reality that's going on. I'm not saying that this subreddit thread either is a measure of what's going to happen. However, it's on the PlayStation Plus subreddit, which makes it even much interesting to see people, right? To see people going ahead and talk about how it is, right? This person said, I've literally never played a single game from PS Plus. I just don't see it as having any value at all. Game Pass, I play every day. Interesting. This person said PS Plus got Hogwarts Legacy and Lego 2K Drive, but 2K Drive was removed not long ago, I believe. PS Plus is getting annoying for me. Thinking of selling everything and getting Xbox and Game Pass. The only thing I don't like is the controller having extra stuff I got to do, like batteries and recharge packs, etc. and not working with regular audio jack. Please convince me to swap. Do you see this? Like, my guy, we are not even 30 seconds into your video. Come on now. Do you see?
This is all connected to the Xbox handheld strategy. It's like they could be severely reconsidering their hardware strategies because everybody, I'm saying this generically, large swaths of players are going to leave Xbox hardware over the next 5 years. They're going to leave.
Where do you get that indication? What data says that? What are you seeing that's saying that, other than your claim that exclusivity is what's going to make these gamers leave, when I'm showing you that exclusivity is not even the core of the matter? It's value for gamers that's attracting gamers to Game Pass. Yourself included. You have a Game Pass subscription. And some gamers are at the crux of the matter, wanting to stay on console. I make the PC build videos. I make the videos telling, console gamers all day, every day, you can build a PC that will beat the PlayStation 5, beat the Xbox at a price range that you would enjoy. And I get pushback from both Xbox and PlayStation players It may be anecdotal, but we also see a huge swath of people who are talking about wanting to stay on console because they prefer the console. In your little clip here, you even talk about this. Listen.
Leave. There's no... What are you staying for? You can go to PC and get Game Pass for cheaper. A bunch of people are going to do that. You can go to PlayStation and you can get PlayStation games day and date and not have to wait, and you still get the Xbox games.
But you have to wait to get those Xbox games in some instances. So if not having to wait, because now that they've gone on PC, they can wait, right? For these PlayStation games. If it's not a problem, then it shouldn't be a problem for the PlayStation gamer waiting for the Xbox game. We are 1 minute and 12 seconds into your video, and you've made a claim that huge swaths of people are going to leave Xbox, when what we're seeing is Xbox is dropping so much value right now. Right now. People are saying in the PlayStation Plus subreddit that PlayStation Plus is a scam. Tax. This person says, since I finished the exclusive games I wanted to play, I really, I'm considering selling my PS5 for an Xbox just because of the subscription service, which is so much better. Can you understand what is going on here? They've created an anchor in their Game Pass ecosystem. If you choose to leave Xbox console and go to PC and give them money there on PC, I don't think they'll be mad at you, right? But Sega doesn't have this income source. They don't have an income stream on PC. So you say Sega, but then you fail to also cite that PlayStation themselves understands their business. Microsoft can supply multi-game, subscription at 50%, console games at 50%, PC at 60%. This came from the Microsoft Insomniac leaks. Can I make it through the first 5 minutes without hearing, you make claims that don't have anything to support them? This is why, and I think I've said this before, this guy needs a producer. He needs somebody that's going to basically be pointing out things that he may miss. Joe Rogan did not get where he is today without a guy like Jamie, who's constantly pointing out stuff to him.
Both of those options are pretty good to anybody who feels like, man, Xbox really turned their back on me.
Turned their back on you because they didn't give you exclusives? Xbox is people's mommy and daddy now? Turned their back on you? Where is the evidence and the proof that Xbox turned their back on their gamers? Show me. I would love to see it. They didn't give them exclusives. They haven't given them exclusives since 2016. Is that the proof? What is the proof that Xbox turned its back on its gamers? Tell me. These people that are saying, oh, you get to play the best version of Xbox games on console on a PS5 Pro, fail to realize that you've always gotten to play the best performing version of Xbox games on the PC for close to 9 years. And somehow they want to rub their crappy little puny upgrade PS5 Pro in everybody's faces because they're elitists is what they are. And some Xbox fans, you fall for this stuff. You fall for it so hard. I just look and be like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing here? This is why these people have the audacity. You didn't check them. You should have checked them hard. All of the Xbox content creators should have checked these guys at the door. The moment they came out with that nonsense, slap them with data immediately. Bring a big fat board and say, read this before you pass. And if they didn't read it on many YouTube videos and podcasts every day, every night, till they get the memo, and stop spewing these things that have nothing in reality to back it up. Nothing. Abandoned their gamers? Wow. They treat their gamers like royalty on the console. I literally fired up my Xbox console and I was like, oh my gosh. Look at these sales. These sales aren't on PC. They make the effort to make sure that the console is the premium place to play the games. Now, the console hardware has its limitations. it is what it is. I've said this before. This is why I actually am mad at Microsoft and Xbox and PlayStation for selling consoles with limitations and marketing them as if to say every game would have to basically succumb to the hardware. 1 minute and 18 seconds in.
I'm saying this under the heading of what's the point of Xbox hardware once folks start doing that?
Where's the data that you actually have that folks will start doing that? If anything, what we're seeing from the PlayStation side is this. You see? Or something like, no, not once have I looked at Game Pass and felt jealous. It's literally killing Xbox, the console, not the company. Most of the games eventually come to PS Plus, or I buy them dirt cheap on sales. So what you're saying is you wait for those games to come to PS Plus so that you can buy them dirt cheap. But this original post is saying that they're getting those games. They're getting those games as part of their subscription service. This person failed to address the claim. This person said, yeah, Game Pass is much better value. I've had both consoles since launch, and at least a year into the Xbox lifecycle, I didn't buy any games for my Xbox. Play most multiplats on PS5, but the hard drive was always full. There's always been so many good games that have come and gone through Game Pass. Most of the games hit PS Plus, but aren't great. Even the newer tiered PS Plus isn't that great. This person said, no need to apologize. You're absolutely right. Game Pass is kicking PlayStation Plus's butt and irks me to the end. You know what else they're getting? Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. I think we're getting Midnight Walk, but it's just not the same. I want Wu-Chang, LOL. I'm making a whole video on this comment. Y'all better believe that. 1 minute and 24 seconds. Oh, Lord, help me.
What's the point? Imagine, let's just say, over the course of the next couple of years, there's like 1 million people that
this is all imagination, okay? He prefaced it with imagine, okay? So just
decide to go to PC and do PC Game Pass, right? They're like, it's a better price, it's cheaper, I can get day and date on PC. Oh, and this coincides with Windows 11 optimization for gaming.
Oh, you skipped one thing, Reforge. They can go on PC because Xbox did not abandon them. What are you talking about? How can you just go ahead and contradict yourself so casually and think we're not going to point that out? If they go on PC, what they're going to find out is that their Xbox games that they bought on the Xbox Series consoles, and even some on the previous Xbox consoles, are also going to go via Play Anywhere, and they can continue playing those games as they want. So if you claim that Xbox abandoned them, this your imaginary situation basically shows that Xbox did not abandon them. Come on, man. If you're going to talk about the Xbox ecosystem, at least know the Xbox ecosystem. Come on. I said this before. This is why you've been attracting, and again, like I said, no shade to you. I discourage anybody that's frustrated at you to take personal shots at you, right? But anybody who's basically scrutinized, this is why you're also attracting a lot of scrutiny. Look at what you're saying. Look at what you're saying. In 2 minutes, the body of work that you would have to do to be accurate through the 2 minutes is at least 20 minutes. It's not about just sitting in front of a microphone. I think this is what's going to really, really change the gaming conversation. Even the games journalists, all of them are on edge now. That Daniel Camillo published that article. He got asked on his comments, where's the data? Where's the data? Where's the data? Everyone is looking like, where is the data? Even with things that are rumored, leaks, everyone's like, I'll take it with a pinch of salt, because nobody really knew that Oblivion Remastered was going to be a real thing, and nobody really knew that some of the leaks were basically fugazis, like the next Xbox hardware running on ARM, right? So everybody is waiting for official announcements now, and even if there are leaks and even if there are, whispers, people still take them with a lot of caution.
On handhelds as well, because then people are going to start buying the handhelds and being like, oh yeah, I can just game here and I can get Game Pass here. I can just get Game Pass on my PC. So what I'm saying is they're leaving Xbox console hardware to land on like an Asus, Steam Deck, or PC. Let's just say 1 million people do that over the course of the next couple of years, and then another 1 million go to PlayStation. Okay?
That 1 million going to PlayStation, I don't see it. I mean, there might be, but I don't see the data that you're citing. Those that are leaving the Xbox console, going to other places to go play Xbox, they're not hurting Xbox. You know that, right, Reforge? they are not hurting Xbox. Let's take an analytical perspective to this. Every time Xbox sells you a console, right? Okay, this is the PlayStation 5 version. Let's check this other article. Every time Xbox sells you a console, they lose money on that console. Every time PlayStation sells you a console, depending on the console, they'll lose some money, right? In this paragraph over here. If you leave the console, right, and you go straight to Game Pass on PC or a handheld, that's direct money to Xbox. They didn't have to sell you that PC at a loss. They didn't have to sell you that Asus hardware at a loss. They straight up directly get money. Many people may not have even made Xbox the money that they lost on the hardware pieces they sold them. You do know that, right? That's one thing that you're not looking at. Then the other thing is what I'm seeing here. Don't forget you can play all these games on PC as well. I downloaded both Oblivion and 33 on both my Xbox and PC, and it keeps a safe sync between them without having to worry about it. I do start to feel the same sometimes. Game Pass is still quite a bit more, though, in comparison for day ones. That being the main comparison, I see $20 for Ultimate 11 if done annually for extra tier. I could really see the frustration with comparing monthly for an extra $15, though. This person said, I play on PC and I have access to Game Pass. More importantly, Steam. But you shouldn't be comparing the Xbox to PS. If you have PS, just enjoy. It's not a competition for us players. Who cares, really? If you think you prefer to pay for games, just look for a PC or a Series S. If you don't want to spend too much money. I am, but I only have the Series S. So all the new games look like dog water on that console. Well, get an X. This person said, buy an Xbox. Get Game Pass. Problem solved. Really? 2 minutes and 9 seconds into video.
You just start to see that exodus take place.
Based on what data? Based on what data? What exodus? Have I told you about the 8% year-over-year hardware increase from April? Based on what data? They're going to leave the ability to play games with the very best options and now run to PlayStation to go lock themselves into an ecosystem. They're going to leave a system that is much more open and run to a locked ecosystem because of day one exclusives that are coming from where? From one publisher? Xbox is 4 publishers. You got to be kidding me. I'm done with this video, man. It's 20 minutes long. You guys, this is what I'm insane. Peace out.